My name is Leon Pulis, and I want to tell you about my inspirational experience I had a few years ago. When I was 50 and I was working in the energy sector for 30 years, I realized that energy transition and sustainable transition is not so easy. And especially when you look to the bigger cities like Jakarta, London, Paris, but also our own capital, Amsterdam, it's very difficult to imagine how these big cities look in a sustainable way. I was visiting Jakarta in 2017. And I really like the city. For me, it's a very inspiring city with a lot of great people. When I was visiting Jakarta, I made a boat trip for about 2 hours to the island Pulau. And at that island, all the elements that I was missing in Jakarta were there. So it was taking care for saving for water, saving for energy, taking care of renewable energy. There were solar panels, there was energy storage. There was a proper waste management system they had in place. They were taking care of their own water system, and they also had a very good system about preservation nature. For example, coral and mangrove they were planting. So what I'm missing in the big cities, it was there on that island, Pulau. Then I realized when you look at a different scale to the sustainable transition, that's maybe much easier to imagine how our sustainable environment should look like and how you really can make steps in that sustainable transition. For me, that was the start point of the Sustainable Island Program. We first focused on Europe, we looked at islands in the Netherlands, we looked at South European islands, but of course the big opportunities in Indonesia with more than 17,000 islands. And that's also why we are now focusing and putting a lot of effort in Indonesia, the Indonesian islands, with our Sustainable Island Program. Our program has 3 elements. One element is policy development. I think when you look at the scale of 70,000 islands, then policy development is a very important item. We have accelerators. You can accelerate the sustainable transition islands. If you think about finding solutions, stakeholder engagement, implementation methods, I think that are great accelerators. And the last one is really about enabling technology. In the end, I think enabling technology and innovations will play a key role in sustainable transition. So when we have the program and we do a lot of research, we do projects with the program, and we really want to make impact. But I personally believe the biggest impact you can make is by educating people. So that we do most with our Sustainable Island Academy. At our Sustainable Island Academy, we try to evolve, to inspire about 800 young professionals of Indonesia every year, from the level of junior high school, senior high school, university, but also the MBA programs of energy and sustainability of SBM-ITB. I think that's maybe the biggest impact that you can make by educating the next generation and try to inspire them for the sustainable transition.
A couple of things. We have to conserve water and energy, right? So we talked a little bit about energy efficiency.
Yeah.
And water here is not only an eco thing, it's also an economic thing.
Yeah.
Because water is very expensive in Kepulauan Seribu. It's about 15 times the price of water in Jakarta. So very, very high.
Yeah.
That's one of our biggest costs per month is getting fresh water. So, and because we're on a small island, there's no water table. So we can't drill from a water table. And even if there was, if we drill too much, then the salt water comes in and that destroys the ecosystem. So we import our water from another island. And there's 2 secrets that we have in terms of how to keep our energy or our water usage very, very efficient. One is for all the toilets, we use salt water, we use seawater, because you don't need fresh water for a toilet. So that saves about 20 to 30% of our water usage. The other one is not having hot showers. So again, people associate a hot shower with luxury, but with Wim Hof and all of this there's a cold shower movement.
Yeah.
And with a cold shower, you're going to have about a 2-minute shower, most likely.
Yeah.
Quick on, and then soap, and then quick on again. So it's very, very quick. Whereas a hot shower sometimes can be, 5-10 minutes long, but one. But we also use efficient shower heads, efficient taps, all of those things. We're also collecting some rainwater. That's what we want to do more of in the future, is collect more rainwater on all of our roofs. But for right now, on our teep house, we'll take rainwater, and that water is used for the garden. It is also used for bathing sometimes for the teep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the essential outline. So here we have our water tower. We have a total of about 15,000 liters. A couple of the tanks are for salt water, and a couple of the tanks are for fresh water. And again, our water usage per guest per night is very low. It's something like 35 liters or a guest per night, whereas at a normal hotel, it would be something like 2,000 liters when you factor everything in.
Yeah.
So again, it's something that's quite efficient, and it's necessary because, and again, it's the same thing with the energy. It's a necessary innovation, right? From an economic perspective, but it's also from an ecological.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It makes good sense.
Interesting insights also about how you can really have a really nice stay at a resort with so efficient usage of energy and water. I think that are really interesting inspirations also for all these ones.
Yeah, what we need to do, I think one of the next steps for us is to really document everything.
Yeah.
Have all of the data and to be able to share the data online. Yeah. And in that way, I think we can get some more resorts from the You don't need to waste so much energy in water. And you can still provide a luxurious experience.
Yeah.
And more guests these days are looking for sustainable luxury, right? So that's a good match. But we still have to convince some ladies, come on, you can try the cold shower.
Yeah.
And then the other challenge is hair dryers. So some ladies want to have their hair dryers. That uses 800 watts or so.
Yeah.
So
but you have it all next door, so you don't need a bath. You get the water
exactly
at your. You have the wind, so you can dry your hair in the wind.
Yes.
There's the light of the sun, so during the day you don't have to turn the light. So I think there are a lot of natural resources available.
Yes.
In such a place. Then I think living more in collaboration with nature create this great opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our basic energy system. So for the whole island, we use only about 5 to 6 kilowatt hours per day. Here we have 2 battery banks. Each of them are 5 kilowatt hours. This is a system from EcoFlow, which is made by the battery designers of DJI. This is called the Power Hub. So the solar panels come in here. We have 2 sets of solar panels. One is on the jetty, and one is above the lounge. And the solar panels are both 1,600 watt peak. So we've got 3,200 watt peak. And right now we have an excess of energy. But on a very cloudy day, if we don't have enough solar energy, then we have a backup smart generator, which you can see right here. This peaks in automatically. If the batteries are 10% or below, then it will kick in, and it usually only runs for about an hour or 2. So we're approximately 99% powered on solar. The next step for us is to add a wind turbine, small wind turbine or 2. So when it's cloudy and windy, then we can get the wind power. And sometimes at night it's quite windy, as you saw last 2 nights. So at night, then we can also generate energy. But one of the things that we are most proud of is the fact that per guest per night, we only use about 500 watt hours. And on average in Indonesia, the energy usage per guest for resorts is 72 kilowatt hours. So we're using less than 1% of the average, which is something that we can do because we don't use AC. We have plenty of wind here, and we use very efficient fans. The fans are only 5 watts, and that keeps our guests cool. So that's our secret.
Yeah. I think in the end, energy efficiency is an important element in the energy transition. Often overlooked. Things about solar, geothermal, you name it. But I think we should start with energy efficiency.
Yes. And we were forced to do that because being on an island, we're off-grid, and it's not nice for an eco-resort to have generator running in the background, right? So we were forced to do that, and we didn't have a big budget, so we had to think, okay, how can we do this without AC? How can we really maximize energy efficiency? Which led to, okay, how do we create rooms that are open and open and close the walls with the bamboo lines?
I think it also kind of mindset. You have the right mindset that you also open for this kind of solution. You don't think in terms of air conditioning. I think then there will be a moment that it's difficult to reach a higher level of sustainability.
Yeah, and actually, it's one of the most difficult things to convince guests that they will be okay. Because in Jakarta, everybody uses AC at their home, in their car, in the office, in the mall, in the restaurant. So to convince people to come out to an island and let them know, hey, it's not going to be too hot, and it also allows that experience of being closer to nature. You feel that wind, you hear the water. It's really a nice experience.
Yes.
Yeah.